Sister Lynne Jacoby. I am a religious of the Sacred Heart of Mary, and I have been a pastoral associate here in St. Francis. I don't actually know how many years. It's been close to 10, I think. When I was a freshman in high school, I was going steady with a guy, and I was going to get the ring on my finger in May. May is my birthday, May. I was going to get the ring on my finger in May, graduate in June, get married in August, and have 10 kids. That was my family decision. That was what I had in mind. And the being a nun thing came out of the blue. Hit me like a ton of bricks. It was not very well received in my family. I was an only child, and my parents were looking forward to grandchildren, which they never got, because I did what I did. Our community is very varied, very eclectic in terms of what it does. We no longer are a teaching order. Well, certainly one part of the evolution is women have moved into much more leadership. Not full leadership and not full recognition, but we certainly are listened to much more. I mean, I hate to tell you how many times I've been called the good little sister, and had that, kind of pat on the head, and you're doing a really good job. We really appreciate everything you're doing. But it was a little bit of a dismissal, if you will. And Vatican II changed everything in the church. And the change was resisted big time. It was not accepted. It's taken us this long for some of the principles stated in Vatican II to actually begin being put into action. And I think St. Francis is a wonderful example of how those principles are put in. Look at you and the work that you do and the position that you have in the parish. The young people are key to it because they know how to do it. And places like this with pastors like Father Phil, who is secure enough in his own pastorship to let go of leadership and let it be taken by people who know what they're doing. It's an open place for you to really build church the way church is seen by way back then in Vatican II, which seems like yesterday to me, but that's my perspective as a little old lady. When I first came to this parish, it was a little bit down. It didn't have a lot of parishioners, certainly very few young people. And that, and I credit Father Phil with this completely, that has gradually changed. And I think it's because the people are there and they've felt the welcoming. They can see us out on the front porch every Sunday, greeting people and saying goodbye to people. And I think that those images are more effective than going out knocking door to door and saying, come to our church. I think they see us interacting with each other, and that certainly was what I did. The way I said he welcomed me, I was like kind of hesitantly raising my hand saying, I'm new here, and right away he caught connections and capitalized on them, And I think that has spread or has been uplifted in the rest of the community if they already had it in themselves. And that's what we do. The Latino community has something very special about it that I hope it never loses, which is the joining of person to person. Latinos for me, and I had to learn this and it was very hard for me to learn because I'm a very naturally kind of set back Anglo. I like to keep it. I like to shake hands. I never liked hugging people, and I learned to hug with the Latino community, and I think that just says what they are. They're a very loving and accepting. They hug you no matter who you are, no matter what you are. And now I notice in myself that it's a natural reaction. The first thing I want to do is hug somebody, and I get the reaction because of the COVID situation that, we don't do that right now, and I'm like, oh. and I feel what the Latinos must have felt from me when I was first learning how to do that, how to be loving and kind to people. I did learn a lot about where they were coming from. And that means a lot when you work with people, if you know what experiences they've had and where they're coming from. One time I remember a parishioner telling me, because I was trying to make myself available and be part of the community, and one woman just said, "Sister, you may be very loving and very good to us, but you will never be one of us." And I took that very much to heart, that's really true. As much as I can try to make myself part of the Latino community, I will never be a Latina. I'm Norteamericana. And that has a background of its own, and that I think it's important for us to know those backgrounds, but not make them barriers to coming together and working with each other and knowing each other and loving each other.
Do you like what you see? We are St. Francis de Sales, a welcoming, inclusive, and multi-ethnic Catholic parish that serves a diverse community strengthened by our commitment to Jesus. If you want to see more content like this for modern Catholics, please feel free to support our efforts by giving online. We also invite you to follow us on social media and to contribute to our work of ushering in the kingdom of God here on East 96th Street and beyond.